to take control again. A throw-in for the Black Stars after a bit of pinball in the center line. Asare apologizing to his teammates for taking such a risk, unnecessary risk. But he got away with it in the end. He gets to keep his clean sheets for now. 12 minutes and counting. Kudus Muhammad, wonderful control, wonderful skill. Busting out the 5-star moves with the Black Stars 3-0 up. And with his goal already in the bag. Schindler cuts out a pass. Plays it forward to Iñaki Williams. Plays it forward. But it ends up going out for a corner kick for the Black Stars after a deflection. Jordan Ayew would have been upset that Iñaki didn't even try to find him when he made a run into the box. Pretty ironic, that particular situation.
Yeah, I think he didn't raise his head and get a proper scan of the field and weigh his options. I think he just made up his mind that he was going to give the ball or drop the ball off to the right side, looking for Mohamed Kudus.
Kudus Muhammad's work is done. Off he goes. Off Gideon Mensah goes as well. And Abu Francis, a decent performance in the center of midfield. And Esuyama comes on, as does Ebenezer Annan. And Simpson. It's good to see Simpson on the pitch. He hasn't had too much, but Jordan Ayew hesitates. His shot is deflected out for another corner.
Yeah, I think Simpson did quite well in those games against Niger, and so I think
he was called back.
He was called back into the national team, and he's maintained his form in the Ghana Premier League, and so he deserved the call up, and rightly so. He deserves to feature in this game with Ghana up by 3-0.
Good cross put in. Malagasy dealing with it a little uncomfortably, but eventually they get it clear and have a chance to counter. Step overs by Kadi, tries to put it forward, and they have a chance. The ball is put into the box, but again Benjamin Asare dives onto the ball, grasps it in his arms, his safe arms. His safe arms, and the clean sheet, the second clean sheet for the Black Stars, is on course. Benjamin Asare, one of two Ghana Premier League players on the field at the moment.
Yes, because there are three. There's Kamaradini Mahmoudou of Mediama also in the squad, and it's great to have the Ghana Premier League players.
We haven't seen that in a very long time.
Oh yeah. And normally you have one or two players, they don't even feature because I remember for a while we had Frederick Asare, Kotoko goalkeeper, constantly getting call-ups, but he didn't get to feature. There was also Felix Chain in there. A couple of players also made some call-ups, or they honored some call-ups to the national team, but they didn't really get a proper looking in terms of game time minutes. But it's quite different with this Lawrence Atizigi and Joseph Wolocott.
On comes Jonas Ajete, the last 7.5 minutes of the game. Off goes Jerome Opoku.
I think Jerome Opoku, taking him off is good because, like I said, he has some injury issues, particularly with back. 82 minutes, the game is pretty much over and done with, so we don't want to risk him with any injuries flaring up.
Are you surprised that Thomas Partey is still on the pitch, giving his injury concerns. He played almost 85 minutes in the previous game. He's played 83 minutes in this one.
On a normal day, I would have been concerned, but here's the deal. This weekend, the club action returns, and it's the FA Cup. Unfortunately for us now, they are not competing in the FA Cup. So that means he'll get to rest a little bit. So if you play him 90 minutes on the back of playing 80 minutes, I don't think it's too much of a stretch, and you are not overly risking him or stretching him. Against Chad in Ghana, 80 minutes, I think it was a bit too much. It should have been, let's say, 70 minutes because of the humid conditions. But in Morocco, I checked the temperature right now, it's 13 degrees, and so it's no big deal in that sense. So I'm not surprised that he looks to be inching towards playing 90 minutes because of the schedule that he has coming up with his club side as now not involved in the FA Cup.
The Black Stars inching ever closer to 3 points. 3 points that will take them 5 points clear of their opponents tonight. 5 points clear of any other team that is challenging them for the top spots in the group. Remember, there are 9 groups in this CAF World Cup qualifying campaign
for Africa.
Yes. Each qualify automatically for the expanded World Cup in Canada, USA, and Mexico. The best 4 runners-up face off in the playoffs, and the winner of that playoff will face off against other best runners-up from
playoff winners
continents,
from other continents. Yes,
for that one spot, extra spot in the World Cup. So Africa could potentially have 10 nations at the World Cup. And do you think this expanded World Cup gives Africa its best chance of winning the World Cup?
Yes, it does, because you have to play the numbers game. That's one. The more the representatives, the likelier the chance of an African team making it to, let's say, the final.
The chance for Malagasy in the box, but it's cleared pretty comfortably by the Black Stars.
And potentially, as I was saying, and potentially winning the title. That's one. So that's the numbers game. And also, because of the increased numbers, you do not necessarily know how the balls will fall in terms of the pairings. And the next thing you know, you can have some easy draws en route to the final. And the next thing you know, you're in the semi-final, you beat one team, and you're in the final, you have a chance to win it. You look at England's run at the 2018 World Cup, for instance. The teams they played against, Panama, Tunisia. Yeah, and the next thing you know, they're in the quarter-final, they managed to get a tough win, and they're in the semi-final with a chance to go to the final again and potentially win the title. It didn't go as planned, but at the end of the day, they made it to the semi-final, and that had been the highest they had made it at the World Cup for a very long time. And so once you bring in extra countries, and it shapes up the pairings, particularly in the knockout phase, differently, and it could potentially aid an African team in the latter part or latter stage of the competition than ever before. And with Morocco making it to the semi-final, that could mean they are making it to the final.
Well, an increased chance for Africa to win their first World Cup. But of course, it needs to send its best representatives. The Black Stars in the last few years haven't been Africa's best. They haven't been anywhere close. But based off these 2 games, they might be getting there. 8 goals scored, none conceded. 6 points, looking to be heading back to Accra against Chad and Madagascar. But 2 wins nonetheless as things stand. And Esuyama gets his foot onto the ball, but the Malagasy have it back. Ball forward, a chance for them to attack and try and find a goal in this game. But the Black Stars, as they have done all game, get it clear without any fuss. Ball into the Black Stars box is dealt with yet again by the solid defense, the solid yellow wall that the Reds of Madagascar have struggled to get behind. Kudus Mohammed scoring, who scored the third goal for the Black Stars, already off. Thomas Partey, who scored the brace, still on the pitch, but now it's a foul for the Black Stars. Breaking play, all the substitutions, all the breaks in play have certainly disrupted the flow of the game. But a pretty reckless challenge there. A very reckless challenge. Game is petering out. The Black Stars, no need for any urgency because they are 3 goals up. The Malagasy, no need for any urgency because they are 3-0 down. Any goal at this stage will only be a consolation. But the Black Stars looking to get at least one more. Jordan Ayew passes to Thomas Partey, puts it down the left-hand side. The ball into the box is cleared. Malagasy playing out from the back into midfield. Couturier couldn't control. Ends up with Kingsley Schindler. 5 minutes added on. 5 minutes of agony for the Malagasy, who have to endure the Black Stars possibly getting a fourth. A tussle in midfield. The ball moves from right to left. Eventually, Couturier holds onto it. Passes back. Fontaine has it now. Couturier back on the ball. The Malagasy holding on to it in defense, in midfield now, progressing up the field, but a good tackle. A very, very good tackle. And the ball, wonderful tackle from Razak Simpson. The referee has given a free kick. To the Black Stars as they look to see out the game.
There was a bit of concern when Partey went down, touching his knee a little, the side of his knee a little bit. He looks to be moving just fine, and he doesn't look to be in much discomfort. So that's a positive sign for him, and that he will be able to complete this game with no physical issues or ailments.
$3-0 up today, 5-0 win on Friday. Do these results, these 2 results against Chad and Madagascar, do they make a case for Otuado, his stay as Black Stars boss? He's been criticized for his lack of tactical nous. He's been criticized a lot. Does this make a case for him to be giving a lot more support as the Black Stars boss?
Not yet. Because you've played against Madagascar on a regular basis. Once this group was made or drawn, the focus should have been just Mali. Honestly, if we are keeping it a buck, it should have been just Mali. But because the Black Stars had fallen off so badly, Comoros beat us, and going into this game, there was a lot of concern about the form of Madagascar, particularly with direction from Corentin Martins. And so I don't think this is these past games have been a great test to say Otuado deserves a bit of reprieve from all the stress and all the criticisms that has been leveled against him. I think at this point in time, looking at Mali's late appointment of Tom St. Fate and Comoros falling flat with their campaign, Madagascar doing same, I think qualifying to the World Cup would be a good thing for Otuado. But
the Malagasy almost getting into the box, but the Black Stars defense holds strong.
But his major test that will bring ultimate comfort would be what happens at the World Cup in 2026, because now it looks very likely that Ghana will be able to qualify to the World Cup, because once this game is done, our next pair of games is that matchup against Chad and I believe Mali. Yes, and Mali. And once we get 6 points, I think we are home and dry, because at the end of the day, Madagascar will play against Mali, and then you have to work the permutations. But this time around, these are positive permutations. And like I said, once you've beaten Madagascar home and away, what that means is you've taken 6 points off a country contenders, Mali, Comoros, and Madagascar with Ghana, and now over Mali. That means you've taken 6 points off Mali. You've taken out another contender, and their campaign, it looks like it has fallen flat. And so once you get past Mali, you get 6 points off them, then you are well on your way to Mexico, Canada, and the United States of America.
Final whistle goes in Morocco. 11:54:59. These aren't lottery numbers. These are the moments. Madagascar. 3 moments of magic orchestrated by Jordan Ayew, finished off twice by Thomas Partey and Kudus Mohammed. When the Black Stars scored 5, they said it was only Chad. The Black Stars have got 3. What are they going to say now? It ends in Morocco. Madagascar 0. The Black Stars of Ghana 3.
Yes, it is. It was 5 against Chad because it was Chad, and it's 3 against Madagascar because it is Madagascar. There's an improved play in the quality of the opposition, and so the goals have dropped a little bit. It could have been more, but we said same against Chad. It could have been more, but we ended up scoring 5, and we ended up scoring 3 against Madagascar. So I'm looking at how we perform against Mali under Tom, who are being coached by Tom St. Fate, and that will go a long way to determine how prepared we are to be able to completely break free from that ignominy of failing to qualify to that 2025 AFCON. But moving forward, this brings up multiple questions for Otuado. Is he sticking with the 3-back system? Is he going to stick with Jerome Opoku? If Jerome Opoku isn't around, especially when we are playing at home, because he has back issues and he seemed not to be able to play when Ghana plays at home, either at the Baba Yara or at the Crashport Stadium. Other than that, his back issues will flare up again. If he's not around, Abdul Momen comes in. Does Abdul Momen start, and what does that leave Alexander Djiku? All of these questions will have to pop up. Once we have Alidu Seidu and Tariq Lamptey also back in the mix, do these guys start ahead of let's say Kingsley Schindler? Do we have a proper backup option at the left full back or left wing back position for Gideon Mensah? All of these questions will have to be answered, and going forward we will see how Otuado and his technical team will shape these things up, because that will set up a proper team for the World Cup, because now it looks more promising for that Ghana will be able to qualify to that competition next season. Next year.
Edwin, I was going to come and sit at the other side, but I'm a panelist today. I want to be on this side today. I mean, look, if you look at the game we've just played, a few very interesting things out there, or a few questions. So first thing I'm asking myself is, has Asare locked down that number one spot in post for the Black Stars as far as goalkeeping is concerned? Look, I don't want to be a party pooper, but this is a game where he wasn't even tested. I would say that.
Oh, he was even tested more than the Chad game.
Yeah, I mean, he was tested at least once or twice. I think he put up.
He made one good save.
One good save, but I'm not going to say that's enough to keep him there. But hey, look, who am I to say that he hasn't earned this place? 2 games, he's kept 2 clean sheets. He scored 8 goals in that span.
Mind you, in the last 10 qualifiers before these 2, he had kept 1 clean sheet.
Yep. And then Asare,
Asare has come in, kept 2.
Assured Asare comes in and keeps 2
clean
sheets.
The data is clear.
Yep.
The data is screaming.
Yeah,
that is fine.
Like I said, he's a statistic darling. I mean, the statistics always go in his favor.
So you mean
the clean sheets and
Asare is the classic case of the mini skirt, where statistics show you everything but not everything.
Yeah, anyway. Because at the end of the day, you are competing in the Ghana Premier League, a league that ranks 92nd in the world according to the IFFHS.
And number what's in the world?
92nd in the world, and it ranks below the 92nd in the world, and it ranks below leagues in Nicaragua.
Charlie.
No. That's what the statistics say. You can go to the IFF.
Nicaragua.
Yes,
Nicaragua.
Guatemala leagues are ranked ahead of the Ghana League. Ahead of the Ghana Premier League. So you have to question the quality of opposition that he faces. That's one. And you transition it to the Black Stars.
Come for you again.
You transition it to the Black Stars. I mean, he came in and he kept the post in games against Chad and Madagascar.
Yeah. So
big deal.
Let me hear from you. In a game against Mali, you wouldn't put Benjamin Asare in goal.
Oh wow! Would I put Benjamin Asare in goal? No, I wouldn't.
Hey,
no, I wouldn't.
Because
at the end of the day, the press for Mali, the game plan for Mali would be better than the games against Chad and Madagascar.
You don't know that for
the quality. No, because of the quality.
No, but they have all the quality, and Madagascar and go on top of them on the table.
Because at the end of the day, who was the one who was in charge of Mali at the start of the qualifiers? Eric Schell. And for some strange reason, look, he lost just 3 games in the 22 games that he supervised. But it looked like it was situational.
I think Mali issues a lot of draws. I think they've won.
Yeah, they had 5 draws.
Won a lot of games.
They had 5 draws, and he had just 3 losses. But with Mali, the issue is situational. Mali forever are the bridesmaids. They have all the talent in the world, but some way somehow they can't make it to the final of the AFCON. Yeah. They can't qualify to the World Cup. They dropped the ball in the crucial moment, and he did it in the AFCON where he had Cote d'Ivoire on the ropes. They had a record. Cote d'Ivoire had a man down, and some way somehow Cote d'Ivoire ended up beating Mali to qualify to the next stage. And so in his situation, it was just that he couldn't get them to fix a particular situation that affects Mali, and that's why he had to go. And Tom St. Fitz had to come in. So Tom St. Fitz, his mission pretty much is to get them beyond that hump. And he didn't start the qualification or campaign with them.
So you're saying at this quality of Mali now, Benjamin Asare is out of his depth.
I wouldn't say out of his depth, but he would definitely be tested way beyond what he's gone through playing against Chad and Madagascar. Looking at the quality of the Malian players and the quality of the coach that they've been able to bring in. After they let go of Eric Schell.
Let's get everyone's
let me just wrap up on that. So first of all, like I said, my first question is what happens to the goalkeeping slot in Asare going forward? Second thing I noticed, I like that midfield partnership of Abu and Partey. Now, I was very skeptical in the beginning because in the Chad game we played Partey as a single pivot, and rightly so, because you don't play home against Chad, play a double pivot and be defensive, and so that made a lot of sense. I was questioning whether Abu, whose defensive prowess I don't really trust, was going to be a decent partner in the heart of the midfield for Partey, and I liked how they complemented each other. Both of them moved the ball really well. Both of them covered spaces. They were able to wriggle out of very tight spaces very convincingly for me. And so I'm asking myself that going forward, is this our ideal midfield partnership if both of the players are healthy? But one thing also is that these two results just really annoys, just like rouse me up again that we didn't qualify for the AFCON. Because if you can play 2 games in the World Cup qualifiers,
because I don't think these teams are the level of Niger that we couldn't beat, for example.
Crazy. Score 8 goals and not concede a goal, and then so you ask yourself what exactly was happening in the AFCON qualifiers.
I said the last time, and Coach Christopher namely didn't agree with me. It's all about the application. I think the boys took it for granted. And
that you think that the AFCON
we'll qualify. It's a given. We'll qualify.
Look,
but with the World Cup, they know that it's the World Cup. It's not a given, and so they've applied themselves the right way. And we see the results.
Fair point. I think Otoado, Fatah Dawda, John Pinto, that group of the backroom staff were not good enough. We saw our current. No. We saw our current.
Go there.
Backroom staff is still in charge.
No, but we've had proper additions to it. The coach who's the assistant coach now won a trophy with the junior team he was coaching. We saw what his play was. The Black Stars are able to swing 5 passes together now. I've seen him at the training grounds with the boys, in clips, and I saw the.
Are you saying that the team is playing slicker football because of Desmond Ofe's addition?
100%. With Schaefer, of course.
And maybe Chris Pegai, the psychologist.
I have a question. Who is the one who's teaching them set pieces? Let's talk about that.
That's 3 set pieces.
Because remember, we used to complain about set pieces all the time. Now, I suspect that Chad, that set piece goal they considered, that was very poor. I don't think Madagascar are that good at defending set pieces, granted. But you still have to have the game, the effort, the mindset, and the execution to take advantage. And we got 3 good chances from set pieces in this game. Because there was the first 2 Jordan free kicks, we scored 1. Then the corner, which we scored. So clearly there's some work being done there. And we remember we complained during the AFCON qualifiers that we'll get corners and we just won't do anything with them. So let's give them credit for that. I think they did very well in that. And to be fair, that's one World Cup. If you remember the Korea game, we used set pieces as well in that game. I think one of the goals, if not 2 of the goals.
It was 2.
Was it 1 goal or 2 of the goals?
I think Jordan delivered an assist from a free kick.
Yeah, something like that. So maybe it's something we should be trying to get more out of, because at this level it's about the gains, it's about the marginal gains, because a set piece threat makes so much difference in a tight game. So I'm very happy about that. I'll give them credit for that. And I'll just touch a little bit on the Benjamin Asare situation. I'm still not convinced by him because, like I said, he's playing the Ghana Premier League. I don't trust Ghana Premier League players. It is what it is. That one I'm not going to change my mind. Like Yao said, it's 90 whatever league in the world. We see the way our teams perform in Africa. It's not a league I trust. But if Otoado has been coached his 10 competitive games, they've kept 1 clean sheet. He brings Asare and now they've kept back-to-back clean sheets. The evidence there, the results-based analysis is that he has to stay in goal. Now obviously there's more. You can look into why we kept clean sheets, like how many shots on target did he face compared to other keepers. You can go into all of that. I'm not even going to go into all of that because as far as we can just say, he's kept his clean sheets. He's done his job. So it will be also a bit unfair to say that, you've done your job, let's drop you. Even though, in my opinion, I don't think he's the best man for the job. But done. They've not been able to keep clean sheets. I think the decision has been made. He's earned his spot in the sense that he did what he was supposed to do. He didn't make any mistakes. I mean, we saw the shaky corners. We didn't see that this game. When the ball was in there, he was able to keep it. There was 1 decent shot. He made a decent save. So, look, I'm not sure about him, but I would be very surprised unless something drastically changes between our next qualifier. Because as far as I understand, we are playing in September. But even though there's a June international window, maybe the June international window
against Chad.
Yeah, look, I'm convinced he's going to be in the post again against Chad and against Mali, match day 7 and 8.
No, but Chad and Mali is September, and that's 6 months.
Chad is June and Mali is September.
Really? Okay.
And between now and then, a lot could change.
It's 3 months, but
for the 32 years old,
He has to be in
the
goal.
32 years old goalkeeper has been looking for this opportunity for a minute.
Yep.
The only thing these local boys in quotes want is the opportunity. And granted, the coach said that it's the technical team together saw.
That's what people don't want to believe, but that is what is playing out. He has kept 2 clean sheets.
But also be honest with you, I don't trust late bloomers. No, I don't trust late bloomers. No offense to them,
but he's a goalkeeper, so
absolutely
their timing works a bit different.
But they will see that. But you see, they would have seen you were good long before you were 32.
I mean,
which see, they would have seen you were good long before you were 32.
I mean,
which top keeper can you recall that they only became number 1 at their club when they only became number 1 when they were 32 at their club? National team is different because there might be someone ahead of you, but at your club to become number 1 at your club at 32, it's very rare. So I just don't trust because of that. There's a lot of things about where he's playing, his age and things that just don't make me trust him. But like I said, if the qualifier was tomorrow and he started, there's no arguments there. He silenced all the doubters.
Yep. Let's move on.
And just a quick one on the Ghana Premier League. And you look, and what Susu said is very important that we factor into this discussion. The fact that the Ghana Premier League is ranked low, the quality of play is questionable and all that, does not mean that all the players who are in it
100%
are,
I agree,
quote unquote, not good enough. Because at the end of the day, look, Southampton are a trash team in the EPL. It does not mean that the players, a lot of the players in the team are trash, because a lot of the players in the team are wanted by a lot of teams in the Premier League that they are competing in at this point in time. So it's just about the circumstances. But you look at the Ghana Premier League. Look, let me run through the top flight divisions in countries that rank ahead of Ghana at the end of December 2024 per the rankings of IFFHS.
Yeah.
Look,
that's a creditable.
San Marino is 80.
Okay.
Iraq is 81.
Give me a 5. Give me 5.
No, I'm giving you 5. Jamaica is ranked 74th. DR Congo 75th. Okay, fine. Luxembourg 84th. Moldova 85th. Kazakhstan 86th. Venezuela 87th. North Macedonia 88th. All these teams. Guatemala is 72.
Just stop. I'm getting
Guatemala is 72. Iran is 67. Belarus is 59. Thailand is 55.
It's okay.
Nicaragua is 55.
Nicaragua
is 55. Ghana is 92. Last year we were 91st. Hey, as at the end of December 2020, at the end of 2024, per these rankings, we've dropped a place further, and now we are ranked 92nd. So that's where Ghana.
This is very depressing.
A lot of things come into play to build up points.
I mean, the league is not good.
I'm not defending the league.
The football people.
The league is not good. The league is not good. Don't go into a lot of things.
I want to move the conversation. One assist, one goal against Chad, 3 assists today. Has Jordan Ayew established himself as an undisputed starter for the Black Stars?
Undisputed.
What are you taking on your Jordan Ayew apology for?
No, I'm not apologizing. What did I do that I have to apologize for? No, you see, this job mainly is based on projections and based on the circumstances.
Yeah.
You will need to start him. You will need to start him off the bench. They are off the bench.